Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Every Animated Movie of the Year. And this time, I went to see Ratchet and Clank. Now, I've got to preface this video by saying that I've never actually played a Ratchet and Clank game. They look really cool from everything that I've seen, but it just so happens that I've never played one, even though I had a PS2. So at first I was thinking, this is really gonna diminish my experience having not played the games. But then I realized, well, this is a wide release film for huge audiences, so tons of people who see it probably won't have played it either. With that in mind, I'm expecting this film to do a great job of introducing us non-players to just who Ratchet and Clank actually are. So what's it about? Well, there's a giant corporate bad guy going around destroying planets, and it falls to these Galactic Rangers to stop him. Ratchet, the lovable mechanic, aspires to be more than just a mechanic. He wants to join these Rangers and fight the bad guys. The bad guys make these robots to help assist in their takeover, and one kind of gets defected, and that is Clank, who rushes off to help the good guys instead of the bad guys. So that's the elevator pitch premise for the movie, and I'm not really going to go into much more detail than that because, well, there's not much more to it, and I'm starting to get bored all over again just thinking about it. That's right, this movie is so boring. I mean, how could a movie about a bunch of space cops battling aliens and robots be boring? Well, I don't know, but I was actually falling asleep in the theater, which is something I absolutely never do. The action and story just kind of have no stakes at all, largely because of the lackluster characters. But the worst thing is, before the movie began, they showed a trailer for the new Ratchet & Clank video game for PS4, and it looked so cool. So the whole time during the movie, besides like the minute that I was asleep, I was just thinking, man, I wish I was just playing this cool looking video game instead of watching this. So yeah, the main bad guy has basically zero motivation for destroying the planets, besides wanting to steal their best parts and put them together into a kind of super planet. I don't know, Paul Giamatti does a good job with voicing this guy, and it does sound like he's having a good time, but his performance isn't quite enough to save this one, I'm afraid. The Galactic Rangers team themselves is another struggle. They're supposed to be these awesome supporting characters, but they never just do anything to make you like or care about them. We got Girl Ranger, we got Smart Ranger, we got Tough Ranger, and that's about it. Captain Quark, the leader of the Rangers, was fun enough, I guess, but there was something about him that drove me nuts. All of the other Rangers, including Ratchet, get these spacesuits. They're the same colors, they're the same designs, and the space station they operate out of seems to fit with those spacesuits. Captain Quark has a skin-tight green, almost superhero uniform that seems like it's from some completely other thing. Maybe the folks who've played the video games have some further insight on this, but to me it just broke the immersion and seemed really weird. I know that's a strange nitpick, but alas. Ratchet himself is pretty well developed, I guess, but if there's one character that puzzled me, it was Clank. I know in the game he kind of rides on Ratchet's back, so maybe in the games he's more of a weapon than a character or something, I really don't know. But in this movie, he just seemed lost, like maybe they didn't know how to turn him from a weapon or a tutorial guy into a fully fleshed out character. That's just a guess, but again, in this movie, he seems a little out of place with the rest of the team. What's more, I never got the sense that Ratchet and Clank became really good friends or that they were this awesome duo. Of course, they were just meeting in this movie, but you never really get that did we just become best friends moment. For what you think would be a fun, funny, over-the-top sci-fi fantasy movie, it's not very funny and it's not very fun. I don't know guys, this was a rough one. It doesn't really seem like a theatrical release. It seems like a little DVD you'd get inside the case when you buy the game, and then you throw that DVD into the trash and just play the game. So let's throw to the list where Ratchet and Clank is sliding into the second to last spot. Still doesn't quite edge out Norm of the North for that bottom spot. I mean, it does have a more coherent plot and some cool parts, mostly due to the guns, which probably came from the games anyways. I also should mention that Norm of the North and Ratchet and Clank have very similar budgets, way lower than all of the higher entries. So if you've never played the Ratchet and Clank games, certainly skip this movie. If you have played them, well, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you've played the game, and is this a good or faithful representation of the property as a movie? I have a feeling I know the answer. So that is about it for me, guys. We've got so many cool movies coming up on the horizon, though, for every animated movie of the year. We've got Kubo, we've got Moana, so much excitement. The top spot is going to be hotly contested, I think. So I hope to see you on the next episode of Every Animated Movie of the Year.